Alright, thought I'd give you all a tour of my pumpkin patch. It's August 1st. We're about halfway through the growing season. You can see it's doing very well. We have a lot of leaves. This is one row here. This is the last row of pumpkins I planted, and there are probably about 8 actual plants in here. So if we look, I have a couple pumpkins growing, the pumpkin fruit, you might call it. We've got 2 in here, you can see. Those look real nice. And they look green around this time. They don't get orange until they're ready. Here we have a couple of pumpkins. This is what they look like as a blossom, I guess you could say. This is a female pumpkin blossom. It has the pumpkin underneath, and this will open up. It's probably got another 2 days before it'll open. Here's another one. Here's another one. Quite a few. See a couple more back in here. Now this is a male pumpkin blossom. You can see it doesn't have the pumpkin ball underneath. It's just the flower. So what will happen is these all open up in the mornings, and the bees go through and do their pollination. This is one that from this morning it already opened up. It's closed now. It opens in the morning, stays open most of the day, and then it closes at night. Let's see what's in here. But this is a female with the pumpkin on the bottom. And I don't know if we can get this open or not. Yep, kind of seeing there. Got some ants and stuff that are kind of hanging out in there. But so that one, if we were lucky, some bees went through to a male flower and went into this one and pollinated it. So this one will keep and will actually grow into a regular pumpkin. If it doesn't pollinate, then they just kind of shrivel away. Here's one that has kind of shriveled up. So this one didn't pollinate here. So that's how that works. Let's see what else we can see in here. Look for some more pumpkins. Oh, here's some nice big ones. This one's already starting to turn orange, as you can see, and a smaller one next to it. That's pretty big. See, compared to my hand, how big that is. Let's keep going around here. Here's another new one, fairly new. It's probably maybe a week's worth of growth. Alright, you can see the vines just take off from where the plant starts. This one's actually starting to go outside the fence. So there are other pumpkins hiding under here. But over here we have one of my giant pumpkin plants. As you can see, it is doing very, very well. This is a big one. Compare that to the size of my hand. This is probably, I'm going to guess about 30 pounds right now. It's got a lot of growing to do. Giant pumpkins are white or yellow, so that's normal. The coloring is normal on this, and it makes it easy to tell them apart. So that one's doing really well. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. So we go into the next row of pumpkins. I planted these a little earlier. You see one there. That one's kind of long looking. And it's just a sea of leaves. It's kind of hard to get in and out. But this is the one I'm really working on and trying to grow as big as I can. I have about 4 of them in the patch, but this is the one I've been focused on, although that one we just looked at over there is looking really well. But this one, you can see the shape's kind of odd. You have your traditional pumpkin shape. This one's kind of growing flat, but that's okay. You're just looking for weight when you're trying to compete, so you'll actually measure it. And what we have here is I put this down to keep it off the ground, and I put a tarp over it to keep the direct sun from beating down on the pumpkin all day long. I'm probably going to do that with the other one we just looked at. So it's coming along really well. I'm going to guess this is probably about 40 pounds, maybe 50. It's hard to tell. At some point you can go and measure. Just take a tape measure. You measure around the pumpkin and from the ground over, and there's a chart that they've come up with over the years that'll let you very accurately determine the weight of the pumpkin. So I'll start doing that after a while, but it's not quite big enough yet for me to worry about that. So I'm shooting for 500 pounds this year. We'll see if I make it or not. But so far it's looking good. Oh, here's another one. You can see this one's yellowish. So that's another giant pumpkin variety. I also planted some, they call them Big Macs. That's another variety of pumpkin. That actually might be a Big Macs. The one you looked at over there is a Dill Atlantic Giant is the variety of pumpkin. And we have another one here. This is actually a Big Macs. This one's probably about 10 to 20 pounds right now. And there's another one way back in there that, because of the grass, is kind of hard to get to. I mean, well, there's grass here, and then there's pumpkin leaves. It's mostly the leaves, but you got some grass in here too. Wow, this one's getting big. That's another big one. It's kind of been sneaking up. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's another one through there. There's another one over there. So I'm pointing out the larger ones, but there are a lot of regular sized pumpkins hiding under the leaves here too. Here's another one. It's already starting to turn a little orange. That's just a traditional sized pumpkin. Another one here. Just going to try to get around to the others to take a look. We're going to have to walk around this way. It's so funny because it didn't take very long. Well, it did take a while, but it seemed like you had plenty of walking room and plenty of dirt and just open space, and within a matter of weeks here over the span of, I guess, the month of July, it got like this. You can really hardly walk in here. You got to be careful. It's not just leaves. You got vines that are on the ground, and the last thing you want to do is step on one and break it. You see this one right there I'm next to, because that's the backbone of the plant. That's the heart of it, where it gets sends all its nutrients and everything from the ground to the pumpkin fruit. Here we have some twins here. Look real nice. I'm trying to get to these other pumpkins here, and it is extremely thick. And this is August. We're right on schedule. You know, I'll start, actually, these will slow down in September, so we got about another month and a half of growing. Can't quite get to that easily holding the camera, but you can see there's one there. There's one really big one hiding under there, and there's one really orangish looking one right there. But I'm not going to try to get to that while holding the camera. I don't want to step on something I shouldn't. So that's about it. I'm irrigating everything with, you can see, this is drip irrigation. This comes from over there, and I have it all set up on a timer, so it gets 12 minutes of water a day in the morning, and it's all done by drip irrigation to the main roots of the plant. And I see I have a visitor. Hi, Skunk. This is Skunker. He came to check out what I was doing. And you see I have the fence to keep the critters out. You don't want deer in here. The deer would make a mess of this. The deer would actually come and step on the pumpkins and break them open and eat them. Don't want that. So that's about it. So I hope you liked the tour, and see you again maybe in another month and a half, and we'll see how things ended up.